Look, let's be honest with you. The police have been held to account. That's what the court was for. That's exactly what they've done. This police officer has been found not guilty. What part of that do you not understand, apart from the fact that you are very, very low IQ, probably sub 80? Alright guys, welcome back to Fast Hit Performance. Then we're going to drop some truth bombs, your personal battlefield, helping you to win the wars you are fighting. And unfortunately, Chris lost his. I say unfortunately, I'm kind of happy about it. But then again, you start ramming police cars and pointing your car at police officers, you're going to get shot in the forehead like he did. Absolutely, you live by the sword, you are going to die by the sword. We'll look at this film in a second, guys. Let's have a look at this idiot first. This is Chris Kaba then, 24-year-old from London. He was in gangs. He was wanted for all sorts of crimes. And the car he was actually driving that night, an Audi Q8, had been marked as being involved in a firearm incident before. We got a few films I want you to look at, but one of the things I do want to say that it's excellent that the police officer who killed this man has got off, and it's very unfortunate that his name, for some reason, the judge felt his name was, or releasing the police officer's name was in the public interest. This is an absolute dereliction of duty by our judiciary. And also, I'm going to come up with a tape later, I'm just getting my facts and figures right, as to why mass immigration is being allowed into the United Kingdom. It's going to be fascinating. We're going to have to watch this tape, guys. I'm going to blow it up enough style in it. But either way, Chris Kaba was a violent gangster who shot rival in a nightclub a week before his death. This didn't come out in the trial. It was withheld in the trial. So not as prejudiced a fair trial. I want to know this. I don't understand why this kind of stuff is withheld. This is pertinent to the case. The man was a gangster. He was a gunman. You can see here, he actually shot someone in a nightclub about, a few days before he was actually killed by the police, and what actually was a targeted stop. Let's watch this film really quickly. So here is a nightclub, and we're looking at the blue arrow being Chris Kaba. The red arrow is this rival he's about to shoot, and then the pink circle is the gun over there somewhere. I'm not too sure how they kind of worked that out. But let's watch this. Pink circle was the gun. Let's have a look. Pink circle anywhere? I think we see it later. There we go, there's the pink circle there. So yeah, he walks up to him. One thing I want you to notice, he walks up to him, shoots him, and then he just skulks off. He's got all those kind of like things across his face, isn't he? Who wears that in a nightclub with glasses? What a bell end. Absolute man-child, total coward. Shoots him, skulks away, and you can see everyone knows it's him. Everyone looks at him, and he's moving off. Awful, awful man. You telling me why it's not a good thing this man is dead? Absolute menace to society. Absolute shameful. Look at that, in a crowded club like that. Awful. Okay, let's look at his background then. So he was shot by a police officer back in September 2022 in a traffic stop. He had a criminal history prior to this, and here we go. He served time in a youth offender institution for the possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear or violence. This was after an incident in 2020 where he was pulled over on suspicion related to how the vehicle was being driven. He had links to a lot of criminal activities. He was a member of a gang. Police knew about it, and he was involved in what's called county lines, which is drugs running, where it comes out of London, Birmingham, all these cities, crossing county lines into towns such as Leeds and Gloucester and all these kind of things. It's a way of supplying drugs out from the main cities into these other counties. Following his death, then 6 men were charged with conspiring with Caba to commit murder and grievous bodily harm related to a shooting in Tower Hamlets days before Caba's own death. We've just seen that in the video. And the incident leading to his death, on the day he was fatally shot, he was driving an Audi linked to the firearms incident, or a firearms incident, the previous day. We're going to watch that film now, and you'll see the police officer take that final shot from some body-worn camera. I'll play this in full.
Continuing southbound. Pass, what's your ETA?
30 seconds. Through South London, a convoy of police cars followed the suspect's Audi Q8. It had been linked to a shooting the night before.
Standing by for strike, stand by, stand by.
When it turned into a side street, police launched a plan to stop it and remove the driver.
On to Coastal Gardens. Do it here, it's in line.
Boxed in, surrounded by armed police, the Audi rammed forwards.
Oh, police! Show me your hand!
Officers' body-worn cameras and dash cams caught the speed, the noise and the drama of what was happening.
Watch yourself.
The suspect's Audi drove backwards.
Mind them, he's going to try and go.
After 17 seconds, an officer fired one shot. The jury was shown a graphics version of the movement of the firearms officers. Blake is the yellow dot. He ends up in front of the suspect's car, from where he takes the final shot.
Unfortunately, Blake is the police officer who was named, which is an horrendous thing for a judge to do. It's not in the public interest whatsoever. Pretty much terminating that man's career, making him unsafe, and there is a bounty on his head of £10,000 for any criminal to go and kill that police officer. It's the most ludicrous thing. All I hope now is that all of the Metropolitan Police, especially the firearms unit, they go and hunt down those people who put that bounty out. I mean, you know, have you got a bigger gang than the police? I very much doubt it. I know the police certainly have more firearms. Let's see how this one works out. And one of the worst things that appeared on Twitter, unfortunately, was this tweet from London Mayor Sadiq Khan, an absolute grifter of the highest order, making the city absolutely unsafe, dragging it down into the ground. Used to be a very proud city, not anymore. There's only about 35% of the cities that's left as white British or indigenous British. My thoughts are with Chris Kaba's loved ones today. His death has had a huge impact on Londoners, and in particular black Londoners. Anger, pain and fear has been felt across communities, along with a desire for change and justice. What an awful, awful thing to say. Nothing to do with the police officer who's been dragged through the courts now for over 2 years, not knowing whether his livelihood was secure for doing his job. In America, that man would have been shot to pieces, 30 rounds at least into him. Here in the United Kingdom, a police officer stands in front of a moving vehicle with a known potentially armed assailant inside it and fires one single shot to the head, killing him. That's what we do in the UK. That's how we work it over here. And there's my tweet below. What the actual fuck? This man was a criminal. Our police protected all of us that day. Of course, a funny here. We will never know what greatness Chris Kaba could have been destined for. It's true, isn't it? This man was going to do no good. No good at all for anyone else in the United Kingdom apart from himself. Let's have a look though. A statue on order. That's funny. Let's have a look though. It's our own BLM moment, isn't it? How we're going to grift off this for a long time. And they are grifting off. The community, unfortunately, elements, I will say, of the black community. There's a lot of good people, of course, are grifting off this. Let's have a look at some of those real quick. This low IQ individual is calling for people to gather somewhere to do something.
Officer Martyn Blake has been found not guilty for the murder of Chris Kaba. We need you, our community, all concerned citizens who think that the police should be held accountable for their actions and should not be allowed to kill with impunity. We urge you, gather with us here today.
I'm going to turn her off because she's really grating and obviously not the cleverest bunny rabbit in the box. Look, let's be honest with you. The police have been held to account. That's what the court was for. That's exactly what they've done. This police officer has been found not guilty. What part of that do you not understand, apart from the fact that you are very, very low IQ, probably sub 80? I feel like I'm a bad person here, but I'm an Englishman. I speak English. These people are speaking English, and I will have to put the subtitles. Okay, no. Watch it without the subtitles. See how you get on like I did, all right?
To Chris's parents about what they've been through, and also what needs to change between the police and parts of the black community.
There is no trust between us, between the community with the police. To bring the trust up, they need to see MX one-to-one in prison. Then from there we can start bringing trust between police and the community.
We don't have any life, and we have a big trauma. Me, Prosper, and Chris's brother. I can't sleep without of medication. Can you imagine?
I don't understand what that said. Something about medication. The grift is real though, isn't it? The grift is real, and yeah, there does need to be a lot more trust between the police and the black community. If elements of the black community stop committing a lot of crime, maybe the police would trust them better. I don't know. Is that, you know, what's going on here? It's the same thing. Well, let's not get into it now. Stop it. I'm not getting into it because I was about to say it's the same thing with the Islamic community. If Islamists within the Islamic community were contained by the rest of the Muslim community, it wouldn't be a problem, but they're not. So surely communities aren't looking after communities. Think about that for a second. And I'll leave you with these low IQ soy-eating individuals that probably haven't had a shower in the last 17 years. These people are not going to keep you safe on this street. In fact, these people will probably cop a bullet from someone like Chris Kaba, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? Because they're just going to be in the wrong place, wrong time, not looking out. They've probably got their phones up here as they walk along the street, probably getting nicked by one of Chris's guys on one of those electric moped things. Just grifters. Yeah, whatever. Look at this. What colour are these people? What colour? This is fascinating, by the way. I'll tell you why. What colour are those people? They're white people, and I'll tell you why. They're called white liberals, all right? And there's a reason for this. I'm doing a film at the moment. I'm really getting my information together because I want you to know exactly why these type of white liberals are siding with people who are an absolute danger to our community. Guys, if you want to hear that film, all I'll say is I'm not that kind of guy that does this, by the way, but if you want to hit the subscribe notification bell, I'm going to try and make it my next film. After that, unsubscribe and unnotify. Don't worry about it. I'll make it a quick 10-minute film about exactly why these kind of people are placing you and your family in danger. At least at the moment, guys, I'm going to let you go, but let's celebrate the death of Chris Kaba, can we? It's the best way you possibly can. Let's keep this country safe. Watch out for people, by the way, and watch out for yourself. Keep yourself fit, eyes on a swivel looking around. Don't put yourselves in danger. Keep your family safe as best you possibly can, guys. This is still England. Remember that, and you're English. If you're watching this, you might be something else, but look after your own countries as well. We're all side together on this. We're not going to sink under a mass of illegal immigration or legal immigration. We know what's going on. Tim Davies, Fast Ship Performance.